Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to do a deck profile. This is going to be a different type of deck profile. So I've been doing a lot of the Legion decks recently, but I wanted to showcase a deck that I feel is not really represented very well in the current meta, but it does do extremely well against Legions in particular. So this deck is going to be Cat Butler Rush. You may or may not have heard of this deck. But the deck is actually, I would consider it an anti-meta deck if you consider Legion meta. So what I mean by anti-meta is, since Legion, a Legion card requires it requires the opponent to have a grade 3. So this deck that I'm going to be doing a deck profile on has no grade 3s. So basically what that means is if you're up against a Legion player, once they ride their Legion card, they'll never be able to seek mate, and they'll never be able to really get any of their effects off. So it's not the best against limit break decks. In fact, certain decks like Minerva are a hard counter to this type of deck, because if you rush Minerva to 4 damage, she's just going to start restanding, and then you'll die, because most of the time they're running 12 critical. But so anyway, anti-meta, assuming that meta is Legion right now. So this is a pretty good deck. I don't know how long it'll still be valid though, because Bushiroad may try to nerf this deck by banning Cat Butler. But anyway, let's get right into it. So the main attacker or the main Vanguard that you want to use throughout the whole match is Brutal Jack. So we're running 4 copies of him. He is an 11k grade 2. He's a very old school card. I believe he was originally in set 1. This is the reprint from the Blau extra booster. So he has restraint. You can counterblast 1, so he loses restraint for the end. And when he's boosted by a Nova Grappler, he is attacking for 16k plus the boost. So assuming you have a 5k booster behind him, he's swinging for 21k as a grade 2. So that's almost unheard of. And that's without any triggers. So 4 Brutal Jack. Next, I'm running 4 King of Sword. This is the 10k vanilla for Nova Grapplers, not counting the Beast Deity one. You can run the Beast Deity one if you want. It doesn't really matter. You just need to have a 10k grade 2. So this is the best backup ride. If you don't have Brutal Jack for whatever reason, you ride King of Sword and you try to rush him down that way. He's 10k defense, so him and Brutal Jack will defend very well. So yeah, 4 of him, and then 2 Cat Butler. I've seen some people run 3 of this, but really all he's in there for is just another 10k attacker. So basically when a Nova Grappler's rear guard becomes rested, this unit gains 1000. So ideally this is going to be your 3rd attacker. So when you attack with, say, Brutal Jack, then you restand him, and then you do his attack again, and then you do King of Sword. By the time all those Nova Grappler rear guards have rested, this is gonna be like swinging for 12 plus its boost. So that's why he's in here. And then 3 Hungry Dumpty. This is a very essential card because he has restraint, and you want to unflip as much as you can so that you're always able to attack with Brutal Jack. So 3 Hungry Dumpty. So this is the grade 2 lineup. So what is that, 8 and 3? It's, yeah. So it's not a lot of grade 2s, but it's more than normal because you're not running any grade 3s. So for grade 1s, I'm running 4 Screamin and Dancin Announcer Shout. This is available from the trial deck that came out a long time ago, and it's also from BT1. So this is basically the Dragon Monk Gojo clone. The reason why it's in here is the goal is to search out either Cat Butler or Brutal Jack. By resting him, you can discard a card to draw a card. So that's why I'm running 4 copies of him. And then 4 Claydol Mechanic, same effect as Hungry Dumpty. You always want on call, or on call you unflip. So Brutal Jack has his counterblast, so that's the other reason why he's in there. So these are both 7k boosters, really good. And then 4 Oasis Girl. The reason why Oasis Girl is in here Most decks never run this Counterblast 1 gain 1000, but you can turn her into 8k booster, or 9k, or even 10k booster, or like if you Counterblast 5, you know, you can give her 5k attack. So she's a good game ender if you want to push for game. And you'll be able to use her effect if the opponent attacks you and they get like a critical trigger. You'll have that extra counterblast for her, in addition to Brutal Jack's counterblast. So that's why we're running her. She's like an extra 8k booster. That's how I think of her. Speaking of the 8k booster for Tough Boy, because this deck is rush centric, so you're going to want to run the 10k vanilla as well as the 8k vanilla. So that's the grade 1 lineup. So that's so yeah, 16 grade 1s. You don't have to worry too much of getting grade locked. That's the nice thing about this deck. So it has its pluses on that. And then the trigger lineup is, since it's rush, it's a 16 crit deck. So people who have never seen this deck before are probably like, what is this? So 16 criticals. Because you don't care about heals. Heals only help you in prolonging the game, and you don't really want to prolong the game. You want to end it as fast as possible. So you want to make sure that every trigger you hit deals damage or forces the opponent to guard so much that they won't be able to guard you the next turn. And usually this can end games by turn 3. Turn 3 or turn 4, but if you go into turn 4, then things start looking bad if you're not able to end the game. But most of the time it works, and it's actually so consistent you don't have to worry about getting grade locked, that the next card that I'm about to show is probably going to get restricted. So the next card, and this is like the heart and soul of the deck, is for Cat Butler. Cat Butler is really, really good with Brutal Jack. If you don't know what he does, at the end of the close step that the Vanguard attacked, you can retire him and basically restand the grade 2 Vanguard, or any grade 2 or lower Vanguard. So he allows you to get an extra drive check that turn, so that's kind of like it's kind of like forcing twin drive early. That's the way I think of it. And because you're running 16 critical, that just makes it even more scarier. So, and with the fact that Brutal Jack is attacking, so this is like a 21k attack right here. 21k, then if you don't get a trigger, whatever, he goes away and then he attacks again. But if you do get a trigger, that just makes it even scarier. So that's why we're running 16 critical. Because it's, most of the time, you know, early game the opponent has a hard time blocking. Or they just don't want to block the Vanguard. So the last card is the starter. So Lionet Heat. It's good for rushing, put in the soul, basically put 3000 on something. It's there to help push the game to close early. So that's basically the deck. Let me know what you think of Cat Butler Rush. I think it's a very good anti-meta deck. It's good against Legion because they'll never be able to do their Legion effect the whole game, basically. And yeah, 16 critical is pretty scary in this deck. So let me know your thoughts about Cat Butler. Do you think that this deck will stick around for very long, or do you think Wisher is going to do something about it? Anyway, guys, let me know, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.